It's showtime. That's what it tells me at the top here. Countdown's on. It's showtime. Hello out there. We're on the air. Welcome to another episode. Happy hump day. This is the daily Bitcoin journey. This is an unexpected daily Bitcoin journey. And one of our favorite quotes here is always expect the unexpected and wherever possible, be the unexpected. So it is hump day. It is the daily Bitcoin journey. This show focuses on actionable and logical discussion for Bitcoiners and for future Bitcoiners. And based on what's been happening here, I expect there's going to be a lot of future Bitcoiners coming down the pipeline here. And we're going to be here for them. So where do we begin today? Look at this. Ginger. Wow, Killer is sleeping today. Ginger caught Killer asleep. 8:02, first comment of the day. 8:09, Killer shows up. It's okay. We'll give Killer a little bit of slack. You can't be number one forever. ISO, hello. Okay, how's the stream going to be today? That's the question. Which laptop is going to show up today for Joe? The one that works or the one that doesn't work? Too soon to say at this point. Hey, it's Groundhog Day over on the Nostr stream today. No one is coming to save you. The 30th time straight of that. Well, good morning, Nostr chat, even though nobody's over there yet. I'm sure they'll be showing up. Let me influence that a little bit here. So it is a special surprise hump day today show. Tom, good morning. Beautiful day. Good morning, Bitcoiners. Paulo, good morning, folks. Dale says 21 million good mornings to everyone. Love that. Oh, what do we got here? John. Sorry, I'm trying to move my chair up here, but it's not moving. John says, good morning. Some time ago, I started to go through my old stuff. Collectibles, Lego, vinyls, whenever I managed to sell something on Craigslist, I'm putting the proceeds into Bitcoin. Love that. Josh. Yo. WTF. Why WTF? What happened? Tom says, I sold a used car, old PC, and a PlayStation. But now my sats per day is on the decline because I cannot match those bumps with weekly leftovers. Nice bumps, though. That's the thing you got to keep in mind. Every item sitting around your house right now is going to continue to go down in Bitcoin. You're going to get less and less sats for whatever you have around your house. So let's say that you had a jacket that was worth $200 and you held on to it, you procrastinated, and that $200 jacket last year would have purchased you, I don't know, maybe would have got you 400,000 sats. Today, that same jacket, because you held off a year, you sell that for $200 and you're getting 200,000 sats. And in a year from now, you might get 50,000 sats. So it's good when you're thinking about this kind of stuff. There is some urgency here. Everything is going to trend towards zero compared to Bitcoin. Over time, you're going to get less and less sats for your items, for your other investments, and for your time. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Oh, look at that. Josh said WTF and then zapped a casual legendary zap of 8,888 Satoshis. Thank you, Josh. My man. Very generous of you. That's a heck of a guy, that Josh. Josh also got me that Make America Great Again hat. Pristine. I should probably have that thing in plastic. But you gotta use the dining ware, I guess, as they say. Hey, Arnie, I forgot you were even here, buddy. Arnold. What? Arnold. Hey. What a freaking bugger. Ballsy Golf, good morning. Said, good morning, Bitcoiners. You can almost feel the popcorn is about to pop. Feels that way, doesn't it? What do we got? I see another zap came in from Duncan. DCA. And that definitely looks like a all-time low DCA, which means an all-time high for the price of Bitcoin. So we'll get to that in a sec. Santino, one of our Bitcoin journeymen. Good morning, brother. Frank says, good afternoon from Lucerne, Switzerland. Sats are still affordable. Keep stacking. Good morning, Frank. I hope you're enjoying your time in Switzerland. I'm extremely, extremely jealous. I've never been, always wanted to go, but I hope you're having a good trip there. Leandro says, cheers to everyone all the way from Brazil. Wow, that's impressive. Dalton, Duncan, Doom Kid. One of these days we're going to wake up and it's going to be $500,000 Bitcoin. Yep. It's not even a matter of if anymore. It's just a matter of when that happens. Truly. Then it's going to be $1 million. And then we're not going to know what the price of Bitcoin is anymore. And then it's going to be 1 sat equals 1 cent. And then it's going to be 1 sat equals 10 cents. And at that point and behind, Bitcoin's $10 million. Nobody even knows that. Price keeps climbing. Thumbs down. No, not thumbs down. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, baby. I know. People want cheap sats. But it's time to move. It's time for this baby to run. It is time. Renita. Good morning, everyone from North Carolina. Good morning, Renita. Mika, go. Go to you as well. Cleaning machine, hello. Oh, there we go. Good morning. Try it again. Tom says, pumped up, big dreams. That's good. That's what we want here. Doom Kid just bought another 15,000 of Bitcoin, maxed out for the next couple of days. Have another 10K to add to the bag. What a flex. What a flex from Doom Kid. Doom Kid says Coinbase needs to raise my limit. That's a good problem to have. All right, what's up over on the Zaps? The Bitcoin nurse is over there. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Bitcoin nurse. We got a solid crew over in the Noster today, it looks like. We got a good show. I got a couple different news items that I want to share and talk about and discuss. And then I got a little thought experiment that I want to share with everybody. We had a good thought experiment the other day that lasted an hour and a half argument. So we're going to introduce another one here today and see what you guys think of it. All-time high today from Santino. It's Wednesday? Maybe. Maybe so. What is the all-time high? We're not that far away. I'm pretty sure last night we had the highest close in Bitcoin's history so far. So we're pretty much there already. Matt, good morning. Josh, both chats today. And he said, good morning from Ontario, eh? Click the like. That's a good idea. Cleaning Machine says, I'm confident this is going to be a hassle-free day for you, Jor. Really? Okay, I'm going to hold you to that. If I start getting hassled, I'm going to text you and say, what the heck? No, it's going to be a good day. I wanted to do a show today because I got some things I want to talk about. Weren't supposed to, but we're here. Bitcoin King Hal Finney. Nice. Nice name. John says, good morning. Just bought another 92,000 sats. Good for you. Let's hang on to those sats. Actually posted a video on the 365 days of Bitcoin yesterday, talking about UTXOs, talking about planting your flag in the ground. Every time you send Bitcoin to your cold storage, that's basically saying, hey, these are mine. This is my property here. And in comparison to doing that with physical land, nobody can take that from you. Somebody comes along with a bigger gun, bigger army, they can't take it from you. It's yours. It's a better version. It's like the And I want to talk about this too, because this is important to understand, I think, between physical property and physical or digital property. They're different. And I think that one of the main benefits of Bitcoin that not a whole lot of people think about is that with physical property, even though people like to touch things, it can be stolen. Somebody's more powerful than you. Somebody has a bigger gun than you. They can steal that from you. They're incentivized to steal that from you. With Bitcoin, they can't do that. If you set up your security properly, even if they killed you, they can't get your Bitcoin. So it changes the incentives. It changes the incentives for violence. So every time you send sats from your Lightning wallet to your cold storage, from an exchange to your cold storage, that's basically you saying, hey, I'm putting my flag here. Think about what your flag would be. I thought of mine would be our king crown would be one. The other one I thought of would be, I forget now. I don't know. Pirate. A pirate would be a good flag. But that's basically, again, you saying, hey, these are my sats. There's only so much of this, just like land. And nobody can take this from me. Hold on. I got a cough here. Whoa. Hey, where'd he go? Bugger. Scorpion. Good morning. Top of the morning to you, my friend. Santino says, exactly, Jor. I just listed a vintage leather jacket I used last winter. As much as I love it, its fiat value is $300. But to me, in Bitcoin value, with easily 10, 20x of that, sell the jacket, stack the sats. Yep. In a decade, you'll be able to buy 10 or 20 of those, as you alluded to there. Scorpion says, popping into support a minute. Well, thank you. Thank you. What the heck just happened there? Oh, shit. I get a meeting today. Meeting in half an hour. Damn. Metaplanet going crazy today. Is it? What's hey Scotty, I missed your zap over there on Zap stream. We got a Scotty 2 Hottie zap of 99 sats to start the show today. Thank you, Scotty. And Letha is also over in the Zap stream. Good morning, Letha. Good to see you. Ian says, good morning, Jor, gang, and the White Wolf, Arnie. Arnie was here. Arnie was here. Get Thunderstruck ready for today. I mean, if we hit it on the show, I'll definitely sacrifice my $2 that I was going to get from YouTube for the show today. Are we close? That'd be a cool one to do on the show. I do that on Noster every time there's a new all-time high. Every $1,000 I post Thunderstruck. We might hit it. We might hit it. This is an unofficial pump stream. Please all-time high. I feel you. I want it to. I want it bad. I didn't think I wanted it, but I want it. Paul says, Cypress here sold off my Pendion, giving 4% return and bought Bitcoin. What's a Pendion? Pension? Oh, pension. Sorry. I thought that was a new limited product I'd never heard of before. Decentralized Dad. Great name. What's up, amigos? Jake, good morning. Doomkid says 115K by the middle of June. I'm calling it. I think that's pretty bearish goal or prediction. I'd say 150 maybe. North Carolina, nice. And Manila. Andrew says, yeah, I guess Bitcoin has been bounced around this area long enough. Yeah. If you haven't stacked what you want now, then you're probably never going to do it. It's reality. M. Vincent says, I've been DCing a stack of cash I've saved over several weeks because I'm so smart. It's ended up costing me 0.85 Bitcoin. Just listen to Jor and go all in as soon as you have it. Telling you. Here's what you got to keep in mind whenever you're thinking about DCA versus lump sum, is that this is how Bitcoin works. That usually something happens, like a presidential election, who's a very Bitcoin-friendly president. It goes up, it goes down, it chops sideways for months. And then one day it just goes, phew. It's happened before, it'll happen again. And in that case, if you think about it that way, you're never going to gain much by waiting. You're never going to gain much by DCAing. Like, let's say that you want to buy $10 worth of Bitcoin, the price dropped from 90 to 85, and your $10 DCA is going to get like 5 extra sats for that. You're not going to gain anything there. If it drops down to 75, you might get 30 extra sats there. Like, you're not going to gain anything by DCAing, but you're going to miss a lot by DCAing. If the price shoots up and you got cash on the sidelines and you're just waiting to like slowly put it into Bitcoin, you might miss the run up. In that case, you would miss out on a lot of sats. You're not going to gain anything or hardly anything, but you have the potential to lose a bunch by choosing that strategy. So everything considered, especially where we are today, it's always best just to buy. As soon as you have some extra cash, buy. Then you don't have to think about it. The nice thing about DCA is that you can basically set it and forget it. And I do that as well. You can kind of supplement it. So you have X amount coming out every week. Plus, every time you got cash, you just buy Bitcoin. That's the best strategy that I've found for getting the maximum amount of sats from your dollars. So as M. Vincent says, listen to Jor, go all in as soon as you have it. Otis Hare Jr., the best name in Bitcoin. One heck of a guy. Good morning, Otis. Tom says he would put the don't tread on me flag. That's a good idea. And nobody would be able to tread on you either. That's the beauty of Bitcoin. Hey, Paul. We got a legend in the chat this morning. Paul is here. Good morning, Jor and Bitcoiners. Paul must have the day off today. Cheers, Paul. I'm glad you could join us for the live today. Pound the like button. Thank you, Paul. Whoever doesn't own Bitcoin today will regret it this time next year. That is absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Cleaner Machine says, I've just passed my first goal of 1 million sats on my Aqua. I'm ready for a cold card, I think, or should I wait a bit longer? Nope. Do not wait. Get your cold card in hand. Start playing around. Start watching a few videos. If you need somebody to help you set it up and make sure everything's running properly and you can move Bitcoin out of it, that's the key. Whenever you're getting a cold storage device, you always want to make sure you can move Bitcoin out of there. That's the most important thing. So you can do a bit of learning, you can play around with it, and then if you need help, you can get you can hire somebody like me. It's what I do. It's just what I do. DCA is for happy hippie plebs. I agree with that. I mean, it's not. I don't want to discount DCA. Like, again, I like that because I don't have to worry about it. An amount comes out of my bank every week, and I buy Bitcoin with it. That's my DCA. But every time I have like a significant amount of cash, I just dump it into Bitcoin because I don't want to have cash sitting on the sidelines when it runs up. That's how you lose sats. You don't gain anything by DCAing. You could lose a lot, though. Hey, we got a 98 sats app. Where's that from? I don't know. All in on Bitcoin, 98 sats. The Nick, what's his name? 98 degrees. Nick Jonah? No, not Nick Jonah. Nick Lachey. Nick Lachey. The 98 sats app is our Nick Lachey's app, 98 degrees. What the fuck's going on here? Got hair everywhere. All right, so I do want to get to a couple different things here. It seems like we're running out of time, though. I did not think I was going to be on the clock today, but we are. But that's okay. So where do we begin here? I want to share a couple different things. The big news yesterday was the no tax on tips. Did you guys happen to catch that? Anybody who's been watching the show for a little while, we've been talking about that at length quite a while ago. So there's going to be no tax on tips. And the nice thing about that is that how do you differentiate tips from income? That's the question. That's the question I posed to everybody a long time ago. And that's the question we have on our minds today. So let me show you this, and I'll show you what I mean here by that. I'll show you what I mean. So the Senate voted 100-0 for no tax on tips. So this is the new reality here, and this is what's going to happen. And I can't really tell yet if the government's just doing this because they know it's coming either way and people are just going to say, okay, I'm done. These people are not working with me. These people hate me. Why would I continue to fund a government that hates me? So the government in place now, they said, hey, you know what? We're not going to tax your tips anymore. Why would a government do that? Why would a government ever decrease taxes? These taxes weren't always around, but they have been for the last 100 years, 100 and some years. So why would they just wake up one day and say, hey, no more tax on tips? I don't know. I think that there's something much bigger at play here. But here's how I think about it too. A haircut is $35, or a haircut is $1 with a $35 tip. Same thing. We were just talking about helping somebody set up a cold card. So cold card setup is either $200 or it's $2 and a $198 tip. How do you differentiate? How do you differentiate between income and tips? And so to me, this suggests that we're moving into a world where income taxes are going to be gone. We saw, I think it was somewhere in the US said that they're not, what was it? Something about capital gains. And Australia as well. Australia decided that, hey, you know what? We're not going to be taxing Bitcoin as capital gains anymore. So what does that mean? Australian court, shout out to our Australian friends who watch the show. Australian court ruling could lead to $640 million in Bitcoin tax refunds. You know why? Because Bitcoin is money. Bitcoin is a currency. Bitcoin is not a security. It's not a commodity. It's a money. How can you capital gains tax money? So how this plays out is we're going to see a lot more businesses accepting Bitcoin now if people don't have to worry about capital gains on it. There's going to be probably a lot more people selling their Bitcoin because they don't have to pay capital gains on it, which is also scary because that was kind of my theory all along. Two theories here that I think are going in line with what I was thinking there. The first theory was that we're going to replace income taxes. The people who fund, obviously governments are going to shrink as they lose power, as their dollars lose power, their influence goes down. They will continue to shrink and those governments will still be funded. But instead of funding and taxing people or human resources, we're going to start taxing natural resources. Not taxing, but earning income from natural resources. And the US is going to be the first country, I think, to do this. Although El Salvador is already doing it with their volcano. The Kingdom of Bhutan is already mining Bitcoin and paying for things for their citizens. So this is already happening. But I think when the US does it, that's going to put the world on notice. So income taxes are going to be replaced by natural resources instead of human resources. And the no tax on tips is kind of the first step in that direction because it's very blurry. And what else is it going to do? It's going to incentivize people to leave their jobs because employment income, you cannot get away with doing that. You can't say to your boss, hey, instead of paying me $20 an hour, pay me $1 an hour and then tip me the rest. I don't think that can happen. So I think that trend is also going to continue where we're going to see currently as it stands today, there's about 80% employees, 20% self-employed. That's going to shift to be 80% self-employed and 20% employees. But also, I think that taking away the capital gains, making Bitcoin a currency, money, that's going to incentivize people to sell their Bitcoin, which is exactly what the US government wants, the Australian government wants, BlackRock wants, Michael Saylor wants. They want the average person to sell their Bitcoin. And so they are definitely going to take away the capital gains on Bitcoin because if they keep taxing it, nobody's going to part with it and they're not going to be able to get any Bitcoin. So unfortunately, this is going to see more Bitcoin flow out of the hands of individuals and to the big boys. But I still think it's a win. Not that I was going to pay capital gains anyways, but it's still a win. I guess I shouldn't say things like that on the live streams, but it's reality. I was going to show that, but that's kind of dull for today. What's this? Oh, I'm going to talk about that later as well. So something to think about there is the world's changing. The workplace is changing. Everything is going to be changing. And just got to be aware of it. You got to position yourself for it. All right, I want to get through a couple comments here, and then I want to talk about my the last part. Paul says, clean, take your time with it. Practice sending small amounts at first. Yes. Good advice there. I think that's applicable for anybody in Bitcoin. Always take it slow. Always practice. Always do it very low risk. And then you slowly build yourself up. You take on a little bit more risk next time. So instead of sending 10,000 sats, you send 100,000 sats. Instead of trying to figure it out and then just do it all at once, you have to take this whole thing very slow. Timber Crasher, one of our Bitcoin journeymen, says, good morning, Bitcoiners. People who self-custody Bitcoin and run a node are free-thinking individuals who build the world and spread love. We build the world we want to live in, build it with Bitcoin. John says, the rate of increase for Bitcoin price is flattening over time. Ignore the 1 million in 4 years, people. The gains will be slow and there will be brutal dips. Ooh. I could not disagree anymore with you there, John. I couldn't. If you think that the rate of increase for the Bitcoin price is flattening, just because you look at actually, we did a video on this on Maple Bitcoin yesterday, but it's only flattening as it appears is because we haven't seen the run up yet this cycle. We've just had little baby bumps along the way. We haven't seen that, but once it goes, it's going to go. And there's way more demand now, right? I think that not only is it going to go much higher, but I actually think that the dips will be much lower. There's a much more solid foundation being built by these big institutions because they're not selling. Those sats are going into Strategy's wallet. Those sats are going into Howard Lutnick's wallet. Those sats are going into state pension funds. They're not leaving. And as more and more of those sats are tied up in long-term storage, that reduces the volatility of Bitcoin because there's less sats going around. So I could not disagree with you any more than that. I think it'll be much more than $1 million in 4 years from now. And we'll see dips, but the dip will be from 1 million to $700,000. It's going to happen fast. We haven't gone through the steep part of the S curve yet. Not even close. And that's what people are missing here. Just because it hasn't gone yet, that doesn't mean it's not going to go. And when it goes, you're going to wish it didn't go. Tom says, if you enjoyed Hunter S. Thompson as an author, I recommend following Adam Livingston with his writing style is Gonzonomics. I like that. Sounds cool. Dalton says, what do you say to anti-Bitcoin coworkers? I wouldn't talk to them. That's it. Save your time, save your energy for people who want to learn. But yeah, this is a good call too. People who are anti-Bitcoin, just leave them alone for a while. They'll figure it out. Jake says Aqua is giving Jordan and I grief the other day. Not sure if it's easier than I was making it or what. Nah, Aqua's kind of finicky. There's still issues with that wallet. Not that you'd have to worry about like not being able to access your Bitcoin. It's just the thing that I've noticed with Aqua is it's very hard to send like specific amounts of Bitcoin as an invoice on Lightning or Liquid. It just doesn't really work for some reason. I don't know what it is. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Johnny Capahala. What's up, Johnny? Good morning. Ian says, as Sailor said, for every Bitcoin and sats you don't buy today will cost you 13 million. Yes, truth. Tax on tips are going away because governments are being forced into downsizing. True. True. Morning, Rock. Andrew says, do you think hosted mining is worth looking into or better to just buy Bitcoin? I mean, it depends. If you're looking to like change your life and hit a block, probably it's better to buy Bitcoin. But if you're looking to learn, decentralize the network, something there. I learned a lot setting up my BitAxe. And it's fun. It's fun. It's a lottery. I like it. Ballsy Golf says the Fed has an auction for US bonds and no one showed up. So the Fed quietly bought 50 billion of its own fake money with more fake money. Yep. That's the system that we are exiting, my friend. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. When you stop and look at it, it makes no sense. And so when stuff like that happens and you're able to see that, you just leave. Why would you stick around? Why would you pay any attention to it? If you know that it doesn't make sense, nothing about that system makes sense. So just leave. Buy Bitcoin. Less stress. Not going to lose your money. You know, you're not going to be affected. Buy Bitcoin, learn how to protect it. And you, my friend, are golden. Lapad sent the DCA. Nice. Thank you, my friend. Yes, we have the lowest one ever right now. So it looks like the price has gone up even since Duncan. Mika says, no paying capital gains. Interesting. I think I remember someone talking about how to do that on an earlier podcast. Huh. Who would that be? I don't know. Hey, $1.52. Good morning. Buying Bitcoin is always a better investment than mining. I agree with that. It's a better investment for sure. But again, if you're looking to help the network, if you're looking to learn a little bit, then it's not a bad idea. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do our DCA here for the day because we got our lowest one ever. Sad. So Duncan sent one today, and that amount was 2809. And Laughpad just sent one, and the amount was 2795, which is our lowest amount ever. So this is from the Zap Me a Coffee, where somebody can send $3 worth of Bitcoin to support the channel. And we've been recording how many sats that $3 gets. And a month ago today, that $3 got me 3,551 sats a month ago. Today, that same $3 got me 2,795 sats. That is sad. That's a big difference, especially if you believe in how valuable these sats are going to be worth one day. That's a big spread. That's 550 plus 200, 750 sats in a month I lost in my salary. Nice thing though is these are tips, so I don't have to pay tax on them. Oh, the world that we're heading to is going to be beautiful. And not a lot of people realize that yet, but it's going to be a lot different. It's going to be a lot different than it is today. And I want you to just start preparing for that. Just start mentally preparing for the world to look a lot different. And the sooner you can take a little bit of action, the better off you're going to be, the more success you're going to have in that new system. So I got a couple different things here. I'm really running out of time, which is unfortunate. I was hoping we could hit an all-time high here on the show and play Thunderstruck, but we can't. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to talk about a couple different things here. The thing that I want to talk about, and maybe we might not have enough time today, unfortunately. I didn't know that I had a meeting today in 8 minutes, and I apologize for that. So we're not going to do it. We're going to wait for tomorrow. we're going to wait for tomorrow. I don't want to rush it. I think it's an interesting thought experiment to go through, and I don't think that it should be rushed. So Timber Crusher says, drop a like if you stack sats and love watching Jor. Unfortunately, for anybody who likes showing up here every morning, unfortunately, the stream is going to cut off for a little while. We're taking a wee little break from YouTube. I haven't decided yet 100% what that's going to look like. But the one thing I would say, this is what I want to leave you with today. I've been doing the 365 Days of Bitcoin course. So this course is not specific to Bitcoin. Obviously, its main focus is Bitcoin. But for 139 days now, I've been doing one video every day talking about Bitcoin fundamentals, Bitcoin thought experiments, different ways to look at Bitcoin, different ways to protect your Bitcoin, things to help you manage your UTXOs within Bitcoin. There's a whole slew of topics in there. And so what I think I'm going to be doing is I think I'm going to actually start doing a live 365 for the next couple months, where the people who are in that will do the show, and then we'll have some Q&A in there. And I think it's going to be very beneficial for the community members. And I was kind of talking about this on the pre-show today on the Living in the Future Proof of Work. But I said, I just need I need a bit of a slowdown here. It might not seem this way, but this show every day takes up about 5, 6, 7 hours of my day. Between the prep, between the actual show, between the things I have to do afterwards. I'm doing this all myself right now. And so the reality is that it's just too much. There's some other things I need to take care of, and everything's just a little bit too much for me. So I'm going to be taking a couple months off of the YouTube. I am going to be back. It's not going to be like I'm gone forever. But a good way that you can, number one, learn more about Bitcoin, meet other Bitcoiners around the world, and continue showing up every morning. I think I'm going to do it at the same time. That's my plan for now anyways. So instead of doing the daily Bitcoin journey, I'm going to be doing the daily 365. So I'm going to spend 5 or 10 minutes talking about a specific topic within Bitcoin, and then we're going to open it up to kind of Q&A if anybody has any questions on it. But I just shared the link there in the chat. So the minimum there I'm going to be doing a weekly show for the Living in the Future community as well. So the minimum there is $5 a month. The 365 is $21 a month. 365, you're going to get 140 videos right off the hop, all about Bitcoin, all about different things within Bitcoin, things you got to be aware of, things you got to watch out for, some tips, things I've learned, lots in there. Plus, you're going to get the new daily show going forward. So we're going to continue going, and you're going to get the live chat as well. So Tom and Ian says, will you still be doing Maple Bitcoin? Yes. Yes. So that'll be, if you're not interested in joining, that's fine. Everything's voluntary here. We have over 120 members in there right now. We have a nice group chat where people can share resources, share ideas, send Bitcoin back and forth with each other. There's a lot of different topics in there as well. So yes, I will still be doing the Maple Bitcoin. And I will be coming back to do the stream. I'm just taking some time off. It's pretty standard, I think. I know everybody's kind of used to this part of the day, and that's why I want to put the 365 there for the people who are kind of used to this in their routine. But I'm going to be sharing other resources that have helped me that you can, instead of watching the show, you can watch that. Mika says, is this going to be included in the Living the Future package or a different membership? So the Living the Future obviously is going to stay the exact same, except you're going to get a weekly show. That's what I'm going to switch to for the time being. Weekly show, kind of this format. Everybody's there. But it's going to be the 365 Days of Bitcoin that's going to be daily. So they're going to be shorter. I'm going to do the show. It's going to be like 5 or 10 minute topic. And then if there's any questions, we'll answer those. And then that'll be it for the day. So that's kind of a step up from where I was going to do originally, which was nothing. Just not do a show and do other things instead. But I decided that I want to keep the live show going for anybody who wants to show up at this time and keep, in habit here. I'm going to do that for the 365 days of Bitcoin. So the other thing I would say about the 365 is that, again, you get 140 videos today. You're going to get every daily show going forward, different topic. Plus, at the end of it, you're going to get a one-on-one session with me. We're going to be talking about what you've learned. And if I feel like your knowledge is sufficient, I'm going to give you a certificate for it. And as I've said, the certificate might be worth toilet paper, or it might be worth something, depending on what you want to do in your Bitcoin journey. But part of that is going to be like, let's say you're a Bitcoiner out there and you have different ideas, different interests, and you want to start a YouTube channel. So one of the things that I would say is, like, if you go through the course, you set up a call with me, it's going to be included in your membership. And I feel that you have sufficient knowledge within Bitcoin. I will be happy to support your channel. Come on for a show, promote it to my channel, my community here. So I do think that there's actually going to be something of value there in terms of the certificate and actually getting through the course. So again, I put that, I'll put this, it's in the live chat. I'm also going to put this in the show notes. I'm going to put it in the pinned comment. You should be able to find it if you want to. And again, there's a couple different tiers, but the one that you want is the 365 days of Bitcoin. And finally, if you'd rather pay in Bitcoin, you can just reach out to me and we can work out a deal for that. There's ways to do it. Patreon doesn't love that, but there's ways to do it. So that's it. My meeting is in 1 minute. I apologize that this show is a little bit abbreviated today, but anyways, that's what I got for you. So have yourselves an amazing day today. Thank you for watching. I'll be back here tomorrow, and we'll talk about what I wanted to talk about today before I realized that I had a meeting right now. So thanks again, everybody. I appreciate the support. Thank you for the zaps, and strongly consider joining the Living in the Future community, either at the $5 level or at the $21 365 daily level. All right. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.